In this video, we're going to show you how to install a motor mount on your Jeep Wrangler located in both the driver and passenger side of the engine. Now on the underside of the vehicle, we're going to use a jack with a block of wood on it. And we're going to bring it on back and we're going to go to the oil pan on the vehicle. We just want to jack it up just so we have a slight bit amount of pressure on the pan. We're not lifting the engine. Do not lift the engine or the vehicle. We're supporting the engine. Now up underneath the passenger side of the engine, there is the base of the engine mount right here, and there is a 15 millimeter nut on the bottom we need to remove. So we're going to use our socket, our extension. We're going to tap that on there. It is pretty rusty, so we're just going to try and clean that a little bit. Now we're going to hook up our impact tool, try and loosen and remove that knot. Wear safety glasses when doing something like this here. All right, we have that nut removed, so let's go back up top and work on that side. Now on the top side, right beside the distributor, we have our motor mount right here. Now we have two more bolts we have to remove. We have the horizontal bolt right here that secures the mount to the engine bracket itself. Then we have the other mount bolt right here. Now what we want to do is we want to remove this horizontal bolt first. We just removed the bolt from underneath on this here on the bottom side of the motor. We're going to go ahead and use an 18 millimeter socket on the nut side here. Let's loosen and remove this. I'll go ahead and remove this nut. Now the next thing we want to do, now that we have the nut removed, is we want to go ahead and remove the bolt going through. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ratchet on the other side here, and our motor mount is actually spinning. The bushing inside here is spinning with the bolt. That means that the metal sleeve that goes through the bushing is rusted to the bolt. So we need to go ahead and remove this bolt here. Now you can use a chisel and a hammer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go behind the head of the bolt here, and I'm going to use my air hammer to try and break that free, working that out. Now what I'll do is I'll put the ratchet on it now and see if we can spin that at all. And we can't quite spin that. There's definitely a movement there. Oh, our bolt is still stuck in here. We're going to continue to use the air hammer to go ahead and work that bolt out. Once we get this bolt out, we'll then go ahead and remove the side bolt here going into the frame. Just jacking up the motor a little bit more. That'll help level out this bolt. And there we have it. Using a 15 millimeter socket and extension, we want to come on down to this bolt right here. Then we're going to use our impact gun, loosen, and remove that bolt. Now that we have that bolt out, I'm going to go ahead and try and wiggle this free. Might need a little pry bar. Go ahead and work that out. I'm actually going to go ahead and lower the jack a little bit. Use the engine weight to pop that mount free. Right now it's down on the weight of this here. Just work at this with your pry bar till you can break this free. There we go. Now at this point here, it is safe for us to go ahead and raise up that motor a little bit more. And pull that unit out. Take your new mount. Make sure that the stud portion of that mount goes in. Drop that down inside. Once we drop that down, we're going to take our bolt up top here. We'll put some anti-seize compound on the threads for this bolt. And we just want to get that bolt started. Now I'm going to take my ratchet. I'm just going to go ahead and run this down a little bit. I'm not going to bottom it out, but I do want to make sure that there is a good amount of threads into the frame itself. Now with that in place, I am going to go ahead and jack up my engine a little bit. And what my goal is to get that lined up so we can put our bolt through. Might require a little more movement here. It's okay to lift and lower this a bit. Get that pushed through. Let's go ahead and get the nut installed on the other side here. Now before we tighten this down, we do have it secured. Let's go ahead and raise up the vehicle, put the nut on the bottom side of this mount. When we come back up top, we're going to tighten down the outer bolt here, and then we'll finish up by tightening down our horizontal bolt. With the bolts installed on the top, we can go ahead and release our jack here that we're using to support that motor. We'll pull that out and set it aside. Let's go ahead and get under the vehicle and put the nut on the bottom of that engine mount. We went ahead and put the nut inside the socket. We're going to raise this up. We're going to use this to get that nut started on the bottom side of that motor mount. And that didn't work too well. So if you can reach up there by hand, it might work a little bit easier for you. There we go. Just got to cut a couple threads. Get our impact gun and we'll tighten that down. Now you want to make sure that this nut is good and tight. Once that's tight, let's go ahead and move up to the top. Let's tighten down our bolt up top here. With that bolt tight, we can now tighten down the horizontal bolt. You want to torque down the isolator bolt and nut to 38 foot-pounds. Do the same for the bottom nut. Torque down our horizontal bolt to 51 foot-pounds. Now that we've torqued everything down, you want to go ahead and repeat that process for the passenger side. Once you've done that, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.